This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
So, in terms of the numbers of microorganisms that are there, in terms of the sheer density, you know, a milliliter is like a cc, right? You've seen a cc in a syringe, so that's pretty small. There's 10 billion, 10 to the 10, or 100 billion bacteria in every milliliter of fluid. So there's 120 liters. There's 1,000 mils in every liter. That tells you how many bacteria are present in the room. The bacteria are the most populous. There's about 200 different species that we described today. There's also, though, multicellular organisms that live within that environment called the anaerobic fungi. So fungi that live in that environment. And also protozoa, cellular protozoa also survive. Those are multicellular, so they're eukaryotes, not prokaryotes. And then there are the archaea, which is an entirely different thing. Most people think that methanogens are bacteria. They're actually an entirely different organism. And those methanogens are the archaea are the ones that produce the methane. So that's where the methane gas comes from, because those organisms are present. Those same organisms are also present in other environments like swamps and landfills. And the anaerobic fungi were first discovered from within the rumen by a fellow named Carl Colin. Now, the population of bacteria within the rumen, our laboratory did some work. We described those as three major types of populations, or three compartments or groups. The first group of bacteria are the least abundant, only account for about 1 to 3% of the bacteria in the rumen. So a relatively small number of the total bacteria that are present. But they're the bacteria that have the closest relationship with the host itself, because they're the bacteria that attach directly to the rumen wall, so to the ruminal epithelium. Those particular bacteria are what we call facultative anaerobic. And what that means is that they can live in the presence or the absence of oxygen. So those particular bacteria, we can actually grow them out on the lab bench. We don't have to have all of that hydrogen and oxygen exclusion effect, because those bacteria can live even in the absence or presence of oxygen. And the reason they do that is because they're stuck directly on the epithelium, and that rumen epithelium is very vasculated. There's a lot of blood vessels flowing through that, because there's a lot of nutrients that have to be absorbed from the rumen into the bloodstream and transported to the liver. And so those facultative anaerobes utilize that oxygen and prevent it from diffusing into the interior of the rumen, where it would be toxic to the anaerobic bacteria, the obligated anaerobes that die from oxygen that live in the middle. So that's one important function they do. The other important function is they have an enzyme called urease. And what urease does is it breaks down urea. And you've probably heard like how ruminants are so efficient at nitrogen utilization. And that's because they can recycle urea from the liver through the bloodstream and back across the rumen wall. So urea is a non-protein nitrogen source. Many of you probably added it to your diets as a nitrogen source in the form of non-protein nitrogen. Now, what the bacteria can do is they can take that urea and they break it down to form ammonia, which is exactly like the ammonia that you use as fertilizer when you use anhydrous ammonia. But basically what they do then, the microbes can take that ammonia, combine it back with a carbon skeleton, and synthesize amino acids. The amino acids are then used to make the microbial protein.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.